Hi, my name is Patrick Desjardins. In this episode, you will learn about the primitive type any. Any allows setting any kind of data regardless of their type or shape. Any is dangerous, but has a few use cases that we will see in this course. In this particular episode, we will talk about what is any and how easy it is to make mistake using the type any. Any is an indication to TypeScript that we allow any type into the variable. The primitive type any can be used with all the declarator, let, const, or var, and is dangerous not only in terms of potential runtime error that cannot be observed at design time, but also dangerous for code maintainability. Let's start with the former issue with any. Having a type any lets developer in the lifetime of the variable accept all possible data. For example, the code presented demonstrates a variety of types. The example starts with a string but change to the next line to a boolean value and then into an object to continue to morph into an array of numbers and end up being a number. You can imagine the example being worse with a variable shared broadly and accessed in many places. The openness of any could lead to confusion and mistake along the way. While people coming from JavaScript like the dynamic characteristic of any, it comes with a cost. JavaScript developers use many checks like using the type of. The runtime type validation adds many burdens. For example, instead of relying on the static typing that TypeScript offers, all the manual checks for types will require the creation of unit tests. In the code presented with many shapes in TypeScript, we would have a type that accepts many defined types. Later in this course, we will see how we can allow multi-type for a variable. That said, we have ways to be strongly typed without using dynamic type. The overall lesson is that each additional code to check type will require additional code to test that we cover all the types. The second issue with any is that it allows accessing any kind of operation or properties within the primitive. For example, if a variable is declared to any and initialized with a number, a negligent developer could access the property length. The code transpiled because TypeScript does not have the notion about the variable being a number. However, at runtime, the code will fail. To fix the issue, the type should be declared as a number, and TypeScript will catch the issue at design time. The third example is the cost of maintainability that increase largely with any. Again, it is very tempting to use any because it gives a lot of flexibility. The following code is a function with configure, which allows configuring an object set with any and an optional variable set to any as well. Between you and me, there is no way we can be sure which objects we can configure and what are the options. In JavaScript ecosystem, people will add comments. However, comments are a burden to keep in synchronization with the code and can be overlooked. The same code with type may be larger, but is very explicit about the expectations. Right away, we understand that we configure a server that has a server option. We eliminate confusion, we increase the velocity of development by knowing exactly which properties need and which types, and can perform modification without worrying that we overlap existing options. Also, we know that the configure function returns a server object, meaning that we do not mutate the original server. In the future, if something changes, we do not have to track the comments to keep them synchronized. The code is self-commenting and is always at the latest version. So here we are again. We are at a fork where you need to take a decision. Would you like to know about the proper use case of any, or to carry on with the next primitive type boolean? This time we have a third option. Would you like to understand the difference between an explicit declaration or an implicit declaration that fall back to any? Regardless of your choice, it is the right one because it's your choice. See you soon.